The banker's voice was apologetic but firm. I'm sorry, Mrs. Harrison, but the trust account shows a balance of $372.18. I stared at my phone. That's impossible. There should be over $600,000 in that account. Yes, I see the historical records here, but there was a withdrawal 3 weeks ago. $599,627.82, withdrawn to the trustee's personal account and then transferred out. The trustee is my mother, Patricia Wells. Yes, ma'am, she had full legal authority as trustee. The withdrawal was processed normally. Where did the money go? I'm not authorized to disclose that information. You'd need to speak with Mrs. Wells directly. I hung up, sat in my car outside Lily's school, trying to process what I'd just heard. My mother had stolen my daughter's entire college fund, $600,000, gone. My name is Sarah Harrison. I'm 41 years old. I'm a single mother to Lily, who's 14, and my mother just destroyed my daughter's future to fund her own retirement fantasy. Let me explain how we got here. I married young, 22, fresh out of college. David Harrison was 25. Law student, ambitious, charming. We were in love. Lily was born when I was 27. Planned pregnancy. We were ready. David had just made partner at his firm. I was working as a hospital administrator, good salaries, stable life. When Lily was 2, David died. Car accident, drunk driver. He was 30 years old. The life insurance paid out big. David had been careful. $1.2 million. Plus his firm had a policy. Another $800,000. $2 million. Blood money. Money I'd trade in a heartbeat to have my husband back. But I couldn't bring him back, so I did what he would have wanted. I planned for Lily's future. I kept $500,000 for immediate needs, paid off our house, set up emergency savings, created a stable foundation. The rest, $1.5 million, went into investments for Lily. I worked with a financial advisor, set up a trust, conservative investments, dividend stocks, bonds, real estate funds. The goal was growth over time, safety over risk. By the time Lily's 18, the advisor said, this should be worth approximately $2 million, maybe more. Enough for any college she wants, maybe grad school, maybe a down payment on a house. And who should be trustee? Ideally, someone you trust completely, someone who will manage the money responsibly until Lily comes of age. I thought about it. My options were limited. No siblings. David's parents were gone. His sister lived in Australia and we barely spoke. That left my mother, Patricia Wells, 62 years old when David died. Widowed herself. My father had passed 5 years earlier. She lived alone in a small house in Florida, on Social Security and Dad's pension. Comfortable, but not wealthy. She'd always been good with money. Frugal, careful, practical. I'll ask my mother, I told the advisor. I called Patricia that evening. Mom, I need your help with something. It's about Lily's inheritance from David. Of course, sweetheart, anything. I explained the trust, the money, the need for a trustee. You want me to manage Lily's trust? Yes, just until she's 18. Make sure the investments stay on track. Sign off on any major changes. That kind of thing. Sarah, that's a huge responsibility. I know, but I trust you. You're careful with money. You understand investing, and you love Lily. I do. I absolutely do. Okay, I'll do it. Thank you, Mom. This means everything. Of course, baby. That's what mothers do. The trust was established in 2011. Lily was 2 years old. The initial deposit was $1.5 million. Patricia was named trustee, full legal authority to manage the account, make investment decisions, approve distributions, but there were restrictions. The money could only be used for Lily's benefit, education, health, housing once she turned 18. Patricia couldn't withdraw for personal use, couldn't touch the principal except for Lily's direct needs. The penalties for violation were severe: criminal charges, civil liability, prison time. Patricia signed everything, acknowledged the restrictions, promised to manage the money responsibly. And for 12 years, she did. The quarterly statements showed steady growth, good returns, smart investing. By 2023, the trust was worth $603,000, not the $2 million we'd hoped for. The market had been rough in recent years, but still substantial. Still enough for Lily's future. I checked the statements quarterly. Everything looked fine. Patricia sent updates. Accounts doing well, up 3% this quarter, should hit $650,000 by next year. I trusted her. Why wouldn't I? She was my mother. She loved Lily. She'd never do anything to hurt her granddaughter. I was wrong. The first sign came in August 2023. Patricia called. Excited, breathless. "Sarah, I have amazing news. I bought a house." "A house? Mom, you already have a house." "Not in Florida, in Arizona, Phoenix area, beautiful place, 3 bedrooms, pool, mountain views. I got such a good deal." "How much?" "550,000, but it's worth 700,000 easily." The seller needed to move fast. Estate sale, I swooped in with cash. Cash. That word stuck. "Mom, where did you get $550,000 in cash?" "I've been saving, and I had some investments mature. It all came together perfectly." "What investments?" "Oh, you know, CDs, bonds, things your father set up years ago." That didn't sound right. Dad had died in 2006, 17 years ago, and he'd left Mom comfortable, but not wealthy. Certainly not $500,000 in cash wealthy, but I didn't push. She sounded happy, excited. I didn't want to ruin it. "That's great, Mom. I'm happy for you." "You should come visit. Bring Lily. The guest rooms are gorgeous." "We will, soon." We hung up. I felt uneasy, but couldn't pinpoint why. 2 weeks later, Patricia called again. "Guess what? I have a boyfriend." "A boyfriend? Mom, that's wonderful. How did you meet?" "At the community center in Phoenix. His name is Donald. He's 82, retired engineer, widowed, just the sweetest man." 82. My mother was 74. An 8-year age gap. Not huge, but notable. "I'm happy for you, Mom. We're moving pretty fast. He's moving into my new house." "Isn't that exciting?" "Moving in already? Mom, you just met him." "Sarah, at our age, you don't waste time. Life is short. We're happy. That's what matters." "Okay, if you're sure." "I'm sure." "Oh, and Sarah, I'm putting Donald on the title for the house, just in case something happens to me. That way he's protected." Every alarm bell in my head went off. "Mom, no, don't do that. You barely know him." "I know him well enough. He's a good man, and it's my house, my decision." "But, Sarah, I know you worry, but I'm fine. I'm happy. Let me live my life." She hung up before I could argue further. I called my lawyer friend, Jessica. "Jess, hypothetically, if someone bought a house with cash and immediately added their new boyfriend to the title, would that be concerning?" "Extremely. Why? Is this about your mom?" "Maybe." "Sarah, that's a classic financial abuse red flag. Elderly person, new relationship, fast moving, property transfer. This screams scam." She seems happy, though. Victims of romance scams always seem happy, until the money's gone and the boyfriend disappears. "Has your mom got significant assets?" "She has her house in Florida, Dad's pension, Social Security, maybe 100,000 in savings." "That's it?" "As far as I know." "Then where'd she get $550,000 to buy a house in Arizona?" That was the question, and I didn't have an answer. I called Patricia's bank in Florida, asked about her accounts. "I'm sorry, ma'am, I can't give out account information without authorization." "I'm her daughter. I'm concerned about financial abuse." "I understand, but unless you have power of attorney or she's been declared incompetent, I can't help you." I called Patricia directly. Mom, I'm worried about the Arizona house. Where did you get the money? I told you, savings, investments. What investments specifically? Why are you interrogating me? I'm not interrogating, I'm concerned. You just spent over $500,000 and immediately added a stranger to your property. That's concerning. Donald isn't a stranger, he's my partner. You've known him for 3 weeks. And in those 3 weeks, I've learned more about him than I learned about your father in 40 years of marriage. That stung. She knew it would. Mom, please, just tell me where the money came from. It's my money, Sarah, my business, not yours. Fine, I'm just worried about you. Don't be, I'm fine. Better than fine, I'm happy. She hung up. I sat with that conversation for a week. Tried to convince myself she was telling the truth, that she had secret investments, that everything was legitimate, but the math didn't work. And my gut said something was very wrong, so I did something I'd never done before. I called Lily's trust bank and asked for a full statement. That's when I found out the money was gone. All of it, $600,000, withdrawn 3 weeks ago. Same day Patricia bought the Arizona house. I called her immediately. She didn't answer. I called again and again, left voicemails. Mom, I know about the trust. Call me back, now. She didn't call. I drove to her Florida house. 4 hours. I made it in 3.5. Her house was empty. Mail piling up. Lawn overgrown. A for sale sign in the yard. I called the listing agent. The Florida property? Yes, it just went on the market. Owner relocated to Arizona. Asking price is $350,000. When did she list it? Last week. We're hoping for a quick sale. Patricia had sold everything, used Lily's trust to buy the Arizona house, was selling her Florida house for additional cash, and had moved in an 82-year-old boyfriend she'd known for less than a month. I got back in my car, drove to the airport, booked a flight to Phoenix, called Jessica from the gate. I need a lawyer in Arizona, someone who handles trust violations. My mother stole my daughter's college fund. Oh my God, how much? $600,000. Sarah, that's felony theft. Embezzlement. She could go to prison. I don't care about prison. I care about getting Lily's money back. I'll find you someone. Give me 2 hours. By the time I landed in Phoenix, Jessica had contacted 3 lawyers. I called the first one from baggage claim. Ms. Harrison? I'm Robert Chen. I understand you need help with a trust violation? Yes. My mother was trustee of my daughter's trust. She withdrew $600,000 and used it to buy a house. Is your mother's name on the house? Yes. But she immediately added her boyfriend to the title. They're joint owners now. How long has she known this boyfriend? 3 weeks, maybe 4. Okay, this is bad, really bad, but potentially recoverable. Can you be at my office tomorrow morning, 8 a.m.? I'll be there. I rented a car, drove to Patricia's new house. Expensive neighborhood, desert landscaping, 3-car garage, pool with mountain views, $600,000 of Lily's future. Sitting there, stolen. I rang the doorbell, waited. Patricia answered. She looked shocked, then defensive. Sarah, what are you doing here? What am I doing here? What are you doing here? Living in a house you bought with Lily's college fund? I don't know what you're talking about. The trust, Mom. Lily's trust. You withdrew everything, $600,000 to buy this house? Oh, that, yes, I can explain. Please do. She stepped outside, closed the door behind her. Didn't invite me in. I didn't steal anything. I borrowed it. Borrowed it? Yes, it's an investment. This house will appreciate. When we sell it, the trust gets the money back. Plus, profit. Everyone wins. That's not how trusts work. You can't just borrow money for personal investments. It's not personal. It's for all of us, you'll see. This house is going to double in value. Lily will get even more money than before. Mom, you added Donald to the title. He owns half the house. How does Lily benefit from that? Donald is part of our family now. He needs security. If something happens to me, he needs somewhere to live. You've known him for a month, 3 weeks, but love doesn't have a timeline. Love? Mom, you barely know him. I know enough. He's kind, he's stable, he makes me happy. Where is he? Inside, napping. I want to meet him. Not right now. He needs his rest. Mom, you stole from your granddaughter to support this man. I have a right to meet him. I didn't steal anything. Her voice rose, angry now. I'm the trustee. I have the authority to make investment decisions. This was an investment decision. For your own house? With your boyfriend? That's not an investment. That's theft. How dare you? I have never stolen anything in my life. Then where's the money? In the house. It's right here. It's not gone. It's converted to real estate, which you jointly own with a stranger, which you can't liquidate without his permission, which you put in your name, not Lily's. Mom, this is textbook embezzlement. I'm protecting Lily's future. This house will be worth so much more. You don't know that. And even if it is, Donald owns half. Lily gets nothing unless you sell and give her share back, which you've given no indication you plan to do. Patricia's face hardened. I don't have to explain myself to you. I'm the trustee. I make the decisions, and I've made one. We're done here. She went inside, locked the door. I stood on her porch, shaking, furious, heartbroken. My mother had just admitted to stealing $600,000 from her granddaughter, and she genuinely believed she'd done nothing wrong. I got in my car, drove to a hotel, cried for an hour, then I called Lily. Hey, honey, how was school? Fine. Where are you? Mrs. Patterson said you left early? I had to fly to Arizona, emergency with Grandma. Is she okay? She's fine physically, but we have a problem, a big one. What happened? I took a breath. Your trust fund, the money from your dad. Grandma took it. Silence. Lily? How much? All of it, $600,000. For what? She bought a house, and she says it's an investment. That will get the money back when she sells. But, honey, she put her boyfriend on the title, and she won't give us any guarantee about returning the money. More silence. Lily, I'm so sorry. I trusted her. I thought she'd protect your money. I was wrong. It's okay, Mom. Her voice was small, 14 years old and processing that her college fund just vanished. We'll figure it out. We will, I promise. I'm meeting with a lawyer tomorrow. We're going to fix this. Okay, I love you. I love you too, baby. I hung up, stared at my hotel room wall, and I made a decision. Patricia wanted a war? She'd get one. The meeting with Robert Chen lasted 3 hours. He reviewed every document I had: trust agreement, quarterly statements, bank records showing the withdrawal, property records showing the Arizona house purchase. This is pretty clear-cut embezzlement, he said. Your mother violated the trust agreement, used funds for personal benefit, converted trust assets to her own property. Can we get the money back? We can try. We'll file a lawsuit, breach of fiduciary duty, constructive trust over the Arizona property. Demand she return all funds plus interest. What if she refuses? Then we force a sale of the property. Use her half of the proceeds to repay the trust. Donald keeps his half since he's technically a bona fide purchaser. Wait, Donald keeps half? If he can prove he didn't know the money was stolen, which he probably can, he'll claim he thought Patricia bought the house with legitimate funds. So Lily loses $300,000 no matter what? Potentially, unless we can prove Donald was complicit, which will be hard. This is insane. It's the law. But Sarah, there's another option. What? Criminal charges. Your mother committed felony theft. We report her to the police, she gets arrested, prosecuted. If convicted, part of her sentence could include restitution, forcing her to repay everything. She'd go to prison? Possibly. Depends on the judge. Her age might get her probation instead, but yes, prison is possible. I thought about my mother in prison. 74 years old in an orange jumpsuit. I don't want her in prison, I just want Lily's money back. Then we go civil, file the lawsuit, freeze the property, force the sale. Do it. He filed the papers that afternoon. Patricia was served 2 days later. She called me immediately, screaming, "You sued me? Your own mother? You stole from your granddaughter. I didn't steal, I invested. In your own house, for your own benefit. That's theft. How could you do this to me? How could you do this to Lily? Everything I do is for this family." Bull. Everything you do is for yourself. You spent Lily's college fund on a house for you and your boyfriend. That's not family. That's selfishness. You're going to regret this. The only regret I have is trusting you in the first place. She hung up. 3 days later, her lawyer called Robert. My client is willing to settle. She'll return $100,000 immediately. The rest when she sells the Florida house. Robert called me. They're offering $100,000 now. Maybe $250,000 total when Florida sells. That's $450,000 short. No, I want all of it, $600,000 plus interest. Sarah, we might not get that if we go to trial. Then we go to trial. I'm not settling. Okay, your call. Discovery took months. Depositions, document requests, financial forensics. Patricia's deposition was devastating. Robert questioned her for 6 hours. She admitted everything. Yes, she used trust funds to buy the house. Yes, she knew it was supposed to be for Lily. Yes, she added Donald to the title. Yes, she planned to live there indefinitely. But she insisted it wasn't theft. I'm the trustee. I have discretion. I made an investment decision. For your own residence? For the family's benefit. This house will appreciate. How does Lily benefit if you never sell? We'll sell eventually. When? When the time is right. And in the meantime. In the meantime, I have somewhere to live. Donald has security, and the asset grows in value. At Lily's expense. No, for Lily's benefit. She'll get more money this way. Robert showed her the trust documents. This clause says funds can only be used for the beneficiary's direct benefit. How is buying yourself a house Lily's direct benefit? Real estate is an investment. Investments benefit the trust. But you own the property, not the trust. The trust will get the money when we sell. You've given no timeline for sale, no guarantee of repayment. You've simply converted $600,000 of trust money into your personal residence. That's embezzlement. That's investment management. Round and round. She genuinely believed she'd done nothing wrong. Donald's deposition was worse. He was 82, frail, confused. Medical records showed early-stage dementia. Diagnosed 2 years before he met Patricia. How long have you known Patricia Wells? Oh, a few months, I think. We met at the center. The community center? Yes, nice lady, very friendly. Did she tell you she was buying a house? She mentioned it, said she'd found a good deal. Did you know how she was paying for it? Savings, I suppose. She said she'd been careful with money. Did she mention a trust fund? A what? A trust fund for her granddaughter. No, I don't think so. Is that important? Did you contribute any money to the house purchase? Me? No, I'm on Social Security. $1,200 a month. I don't have that kind of money. But you're on the title. You own half the house. Patricia said it was for protection in case something happened to her. I didn't want to be homeless. So, you own a $300,000 asset you didn't pay for? I suppose so. Is that wrong? He genuinely had no idea what he'd stumbled into. Patricia had used him. put him on the title to shield half the assets. And he'd gone along because he was lonely and she was nice to him. The trial date was set for March 2024. But in February, Patricia called me. Sarah, we need to talk. Through lawyers. Please, just hear me out. Fine, talk. I'm dying. Silence. What? Cancer? Pancreatic? Stage 4? The doctors say I have maybe 6 months. Mom, I'm telling you because I want to fix this. Before I die, I don't want to leave things broken. Then return Lily's money. I can't. Most of it's in the house, and Donald is on the title, I know. He doesn't understand any of this. He thinks we're getting married. He thinks this is our forever home. He has dementia, Sarah. He's confused. If I take the house away from him now, he'll end up in a shelter, or worse. What about Lily? What about her future? I'm working on it. The Florida house sold. I got $320,000, I'll give you half. $160,000 as a start. The trust is owed $600,000 plus interest. $160,000 doesn't cover it. It's what I have right now. What about the Arizona house? When I die, you'll get my half. Donald keeps his half. You can sell your portion or wait until he's gone. Then you get everything. When he's gone, he's 82. That could be 20 years. Or 20 days. He's not in great health. The dementia is progressing. This is insane. It's the best I can do. Please, Sarah, I'm dying. Let me try to make this right. I wanted to scream, to rage, to demand she sell everything and give back every penny. But she was dying. And rage wouldn't bring back the money. Fine. $160,000 now. You're half of the Arizona house when you die. But Patricia, hear me clearly. I will never forgive you for this. Never. I understand. Do you? Do you really? You stole my daughter's future because you fell in love with a stranger and wanted to play house. That's unforgivable. I was trying to help. No, you were trying to make yourself happy. And you convinced yourself that everyone else would benefit. That's not help. That's delusion. She was quiet. Then, you're right. I convinced myself. I needed to believe I was doing something good. Because if I admitted the truth that I stole from Lily, I couldn't live with myself. And yet you did it anyway. Yes, I did, and I'm sorry. Truly sorry. I know it doesn't fix anything, but I am. Sorry doesn't pay for college. I know. She died in July 2024. 5 months after the diagnosis, pancreatic cancer is fast and brutal. I flew to Arizona for the funeral. Lily came with me. Donald was there, crying, genuinely devastated. She was the love of my life, he told me. You knew her for 9 months, long enough to know she was special. At the wake, people told stories about how generous Patricia was, how funny, how caring. Nobody mentioned the $600,000 she stole. After the funeral, Donald pulled me aside. Patricia told me about the trust, about the money. Did she? She said you were upset, that there was a lawsuit. There is. Was. Now she's dead, so the lawsuit's moot, but yes, I'm upset. I didn't know about where the money came from. I thought she had savings. She never told me about your daughter's college fund. Would it have mattered if she had? I don't know, maybe. I didn't ask questions. I should have. I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't return $440,000. I know, and I want to make it right. How? The house. Patricia's will left me her half, so I own the whole thing now. I could keep it, live here until I die, but that's not fair to you, to Lily. What are you saying? I'm saying I'll sell it. Give you half the proceeds. It's worth about $700,000 now. You'd get $350,000. Combined with the $160 from Florida, that's $510,000. Still short of what was stolen, but closer. I looked at this old man, widowed twice, lonely, used by my mother. now trying to make amends for something that wasn't entirely his fault. You don't have to do this. Yes, I do. Patricia used me. Put me on that title to protect her theft. I benefited from something I didn't earn. I want to make it right. Okay, sell it. Give me half. We'll call it settled. Thank you. Don't thank me. I'm only agreeing because you're being decent. My mother wasn't. He sold the house in October 2024. Final sale price, $695,000. After fees and closing costs, $660,000. My half, $330,000. I deposited it into Lily's trust. Combined with the $160,000 from the Florida house, we now had $490,000. Still $110,000 short. Plus years of lost interest. Plus the emotional damage of fighting my own mother. But the legal battle was over. The money was recovered, as much as we were going to get. I thought that was the end of the story. I was wrong. 3 months later, in January 2025, I got a call from an estate lawyer in Phoenix. Mrs. Harrison, this is Margaret Chen. I'm handling Donald Reeves's estate. Estate? Did Donald die? I'm sorry to inform you he passed away last week. Heart attack, very sudden. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. He had a will, and you're named as a beneficiary. Me? Why? He left you his entire estate, approximately $420,000. Sale proceeds from a condo he'd purchased after selling the house, plus life insurance and savings. I sat down hard. $420,000? Yes. His will includes a note. Would you like me to read it? Please. I owe Sarah Harrison and her daughter Lily far more than I can ever repay. I benefited from Patricia's poor choices. For months, I owned half a house I didn't pay for. Even after selling and giving Sarah her share, I profited from that situation. This money should have been theirs all along. I'm sorry it took my death to make it fully right. Please give them everything. Tell them I'm sorry, and tell them Patricia loved them even though she didn't show it well. Tears were running down my face. He left us everything? Yes, ma'am, $420,000. Would you like me to process the transfer? Yes, please. And Miss Chen, thank you for calling. This means everything. Donald was a good man. He felt terrible about what happened. He wanted to fix it. I'm glad he could. I hung up, stared at my phone. $420,000. Added to the current $490,000 in the trust. $910,000. More than the original $600,000. More than we'd lost. More than David's initial contribution. Patricia had stolen $600,000. But through Donald's final act of redemption, we ended up with $900,000. I called Lily at school. She was 17 now, junior year of high school, honor roll, early college applications already submitted. Mom, is everything okay? You never called during school. Everything's okay. Better than okay. Can you talk for a minute? Yeah, I'm at lunch. What's up? Donald died. Oh, the boyfriend. Grandma's boyfriend? Yes, he had a heart attack last week. That's sad. It is. But Lily, he left us his estate, $420,000. Silence. Lily. He left us money? Why? Because he felt guilty about benefiting from what Grandma did. He wanted to make it right. How much is in the trust now? $910,000. That's more than, yes, more than Grandma stole, more than what your dad originally set up. Donald gave us everything he had. Because Grandma stole from us. Yes, so we ended up ahead because of theft and death. I know it's complicated. It's messed up, Mom. Grandma steals $600,000, dies. Donald sells the house, gives us half, then dies and gives us the rest. And we end up with more than we started with. That's messed up. Yes, it is. Do I say thank you? Do I feel grateful? Do I forgive Grandma? I don't know, honey. What do you feel? Long pause. I feel sad for Donald. He was just lonely and confused and got pulled into Grandma's mess, and he spent the last year of his life trying to fix something he didn't break. He was a good man. Yeah, better than Grandma. Much better. So, what do we do now? We invest it, we protect it, and when you're ready for college, we use it for whatever school you want, wherever you want to go. No financial stress, no worries, just choices. Because Donald died and gave us everything. Yes, that's really messed up, Mom. I know, baby, I know. Lily got accepted to University of Florida 2 months later. Full academic scholarship. 4 years, tuition, room, and board. Everything covered. She called me crying. I got the scholarship. I'm so proud of you. The trust money, we don't even need it now. What do we do with it? Save it for grad school or a down payment on a house or whatever you need when you're older. Because Grandma stole it and Donald gave it back. Stop dwelling on that. You earned this scholarship, your grades, your test scores, your essays, all you. This has nothing to do with Grandma or Donald. But it does, though. If Grandma hadn't stolen the money, would I have worked this hard? Would I have pushed myself for scholarships? Yes, you would have, because that's who you are. Maybe. A year later, Lily started at University of Florida, thriving, pre-law, talking about Harvard Law School, about becoming a lawyer specializing in elder law. I want to help families navigate these situations, she told me. Stop grandparents from stealing from grandkids, protect trusts, hold trustees accountable. Because of what Grandma did? Because I don't want other kids to go through what I went through. Patricia's legacy wasn't the stolen money. It was Lily's determination to prevent others from experiencing the same theft. That's something, not forgiveness, not gratitude, but purpose. And sometimes, purpose is all you can salvage from betrayal. The trust now sits at $945,000, growing steadily, more than enough for Lily's future, more than David ever imagined, more than Patricia tried to steal. I went to Patricia's grave once, a year after she died, stood there in the Arizona heat, stared at the headstone. I don't forgive you, I said out loud. I understand you were sick. I understand you convinced yourself you were helping, but I don't forgive you. You stole from your granddaughter, you betrayed our trust, and you never truly apologized. The stone said nothing, because stones can't talk. And Patricia couldn't defend herself anymore. But Donald, I continued, Donald tried to make it right. He gave us everything, and because of him, Lily's going to be okay, better than okay. So maybe there's redemption. Just not from you. I left flowers not for Patricia, for Donald. His grave was 3 rows over. Thank you, I told his stone, for seeing clearly, for acting honorably, for giving everything to fix someone else's wrong. You were a better person than you knew. I drove back to Florida that night, back to my life, back to Lily. The trust is protected now. Corporate trustee, professional management, no family involvement, no chances for betrayal. Lily will graduate in 3 years. Will go to law school. Will become the lawyer she wants to be. And she'll do it with $945,000 in trust. Money that was stolen, recovered, and redeemed. Not because Patricia made good choices, but because Donald made the right one at the end. That's the real lesson. Not about trust funds or legal documents or fiduciary duty, but about redemption. About how the people who hurt us most, sometimes, aren't the ones who heal us. Sometimes healing comes from strangers who barely knew us but understood what was right. Donald Reeves, 82 years old, confused, manipulated, used, but in the end, honorable. That's the story I tell Lily when she asks about her trust fund. Not the theft, not the betrayal, not even the legal battles, but the redemption. the stranger who gave everything to make things right, because that's the part worth remembering. I kept Patricia's journal, the one I'd found in her belongings after she died. Read it fully only once, but certain entries stayed with me. September 2nd. Sarah won't talk to me except through lawyers. She doesn't understand that I'm trying to help. Real estate always appreciates, always. This house is an investment vehicle. When it sells for $1 million in 10 years, Lily will have more than the original $600,000. She'll thank me then. They both will. She genuinely believed it. Truly thought that stealing $600,000 to buy a house with a stranger was sound financial planning. September 15th. Met with my lawyer today. He's worried about the lawsuit. Says Sarah has a strong case. But I have discretion as trustee. That's what discretion means. Making investment decisions. I made one, a good one. The judge will see that. The judge never got the chance. Patricia died before trial. October 3rd. Donald and I are getting married. Small ceremony. Just us and a few friends. Sarah's not invited. She'd just cause problems. Tell me I'm moving too fast, that I barely know him. But I know him well enough. He's kind, he's present, he's here. That's more than I can say for Sarah. They never did get married. The cancer diagnosis came 2 weeks after that entry. The wedding was canceled. November 20th. Doctor confirmed it today. Pancreatic cancer, stage 4, 6 months if I'm lucky. I need to fix things with Sarah before I die. Need to make her understand. This was always about securing everyone's future. Mine, Donald's, Lily's, everyone. Why can't she see that? Because it wasn't about everyone's future. It was about Patricia's present, her loneliness, her need to feel generous and important, her desire to play savior to Donald. And Lily's money was the tool she used to make herself feel better. The journal had one final entry, dated February 14th, 2024, 5 months before she died. Valentine's Day, Donald gave me flowers, grocery store carnations. They're wilting already. But it's the thought that counts, right? Sarah called, angry about something, always angry. I tried to explain about the house, about the investment strategy. She wouldn't listen, just kept saying, I stole from Lily, stole. Such an ugly word. I didn't steal. I reallocated, I invested, I protected. Why is that so hard to understand? Maybe when I'm gone, she'll finally get it. Maybe when the house sells for twice what I paid, she'll realize I was right all along. Maybe then she'll forgive me, though knowing Sarah, probably not. She holds grudges, always has, gets that from her father. That last line broke me. She blamed my father, blamed me, blamed everyone except herself. Classic Patricia, always the victim, never the villain, even when she was absolutely, unquestionably the villain. I burned the journal after reading it, lit it in my fireplace, watched the pages curl and blacken. Lily asked what I was burning. Evidence that some people never learn, I said. Was it Grandma's? Yes. What did it say? That she believed she was right until the very end, that she never understood what she'd done. Do you think she was mentally ill? I think she was selfish, and she convinced herself that her selfishness was actually generosity. That's not illness, that's delusion. Is there a difference? Sometimes, but in her case, I don't think so. She chose to believe what made her feel good. That's not brain chemistry, that's character. Lily sat with that. I'm glad you fought her. Me, too. Even though it didn't get all the money back? Even though, because fighting was the right thing to do. And sometimes doing the right thing is more important than winning. Did we win, though, with Donald's money? We won, but not because of Patricia, despite her. The weeks after Donald's estate transfer were strange. We had more money than we'd started with. $910,000, growing daily with interest and market returns. David's original contribution of 1.5 million had shrunk to 600,000 over 12 years of market fluctuations. Patricia had stolen that, but Donald's redemption gave us 900,000. We were ahead financially, but emotionally, we'd lost years to stress, to legal battles, to family fracture, to the knowledge that my own mother had betrayed us. No amount of money fixes that. Lily applied to 8 colleges, got into 7, full ride at 4 of them, partial scholarships at the others. She picked University of Florida, close to home, excellent pre-law program, and free. I don't want to use the trust money, she told me. Not for undergrad, let's save it, for law school or for whatever comes after. You sure? I'm sure. That money cost us too much. I want to earn my undergraduate degree on my own merit. The trust is insurance, not a crutch. You're very mature for 17. I learned from watching Grandma how not to be. Ouch, but accurate. Lily's freshman year was everything college should be. New friends, challenging classes, campus activities, independence. She came home for Thanksgiving. We sat in the kitchen, same kitchen where I'd learned the trust was empty, where I'd called lawyers, where I'd planned the fight. Mom, I've been thinking. About? Grandma, about what she did and why. Okay. I think she was scared. Scared of being alone, scared of dying alone. Dad dying left her widowed, lonely. And when Donald showed up, she grabbed onto him, made him her whole identity, her purpose. That doesn't excuse stealing $600,000. I know, but it explains it. She didn't see Lily's future. She only saw her own present, her own loneliness. You're being very generous. I'm trying to understand, not to forgive, just to understand. Understanding is good. Just don't let it turn into excusing. I won't. What she did was wrong. Legally, morally, completely wrong. But I think I get why she did it. And that helps? A little. Makes her human instead of just a monster. She wasn't a monster, just profoundly selfish. Is there a difference? Sometimes monsters intend harm. Selfish people just don't care about harm. Not the same thing. Both destructive, but different. Lily graduated from University of Florida in May 2028. Summa cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa, acceptances to Yale, Harvard, and Stanford Law. She picked Yale, full scholarship, again. I got the full ride again, Mom. I'm so proud of you. The trust is up to 1.1 million now. Market's been good. What should we do with it? Save it. You'll have expenses in law school beyond tuition, books, housing if you want to live off campus, maybe studying abroad. Or maybe you won't need it at all and will use it for a down payment on your first house. A house bought with stolen money that was redeemed by a guilty man. A house bought with your father's life insurance that was mismanaged and then recovered. Let's focus on the recovery, not the theft. Okay, I'll try. Lily finished Yale Law in 2031. Top 10% of her class. Job offers from 6 firms. She picked one specializing in elder law and estate planning. I'm going to spend my career preventing what happened to us, she told me. Educating families about trustee responsibilities, prosecuting financial abuse, protecting vulnerable people. Because of Grandma. Because I know what it feels like to have someone you trust betray you, to watch your future disappear, to fight for years to get it back. No kid should go through that. You're going to be amazing. I learned from you. You fought for me. Now I fight for others. Patricia's death certificate listed cause of death as pancreatic cancer. But I think she really died of selfishness, of an inability to see past her own needs to the harm she caused. Donald's death certificate listed heart attack, but I think he really died of guilt, of knowing he'd benefited from theft and spending his last year trying to make it right. 2 people, 2 deaths, Two very different legacies. Patricia left behind broken trust and stolen money. Donald left behind redemption and restoration. I know which one I'd rather be remembered for. Last month, Lily called from her firm. Excited. Mom, I just took a case. Pro bono, grandmother who stole $75,000 from a grandkid's college fund. Used it to pay off credit card debt. The mom is suing, wants the money back. And I'm representing the mom for free because I know exactly what she's going through. That's wonderful, honey. I told her about Grandma, about what happened to us. She cried, said she felt less alone. That's what I want to do. Make people feel less alone in these situations. You're doing exactly what you should be doing. Thanks to you, and weirdly, thanks to Grandma for showing me what matters. Don't give her credit. I'm not. I'm just acknowledging that trauma can create purpose. Her theft led to my career. Not because theft is good, but because I refuse to let it be meaningless. That's the final lesson, the real ending to Patricia's story. Not the theft, not the legal battles, not even the redemption, but purpose, meaning, the refusal to let betrayal define us. Patricia stole $600,000. Donald returned $900,000. Lily built a career helping others avoid both. And me. I learned that love doesn't mean blind trust, that family doesn't excuse betrayal, that forgiveness is optional but healing is essential. The trust fund sits at $1.2 million now. Lily doesn't need it, has a good salary, benefits, stability, but it's there. Insurance, security, the knowledge that she's protected. Not because of Patricia, despite her. That's the real story. The actual ending, not fairy tale redemption, not neat closure, not perfect forgiveness. Just survival, growth, purpose. And the knowledge that sometimes the people who hurt us most teach us the most important lessons. Not the lessons they intended, but the ones we needed. Patricia taught me to protect Lily fiercely, to never trust blindly, to fight for what's right even when it's hard. Donald taught me that redemption is possible, that strangers can be more honorable than family, that guilt can motivate goodness. And Lily? Lily taught me that resilience is stronger than betrayal, that purpose can emerge from trauma, that the next generation can learn from our mistakes without repeating them. That's the legacy. The real one, not money, not houses, not legal victories, but wisdom, hard-won, painful, essential, and maybe that's worth more than $600,000 after all. 5 years after Patricia's death, I received a letter from a woman I'd never met. Dear Mrs. Harrison, my name is Carol Simmons. You don't know me, but I know your story. My daughter went through something similar with her grandmother, trust fund theft. Same pattern, lonely widow, new boyfriend, sudden property purchase with grandchild's college money. I found your name through court records while researching our own case. Saw that you fought, that you won partially, that someone named Donald Reeves ultimately made things right. I'm writing because we're in the middle of our battle now. My daughter Emma is 15. Her trust had $400,000. Her grandmother took $300,000 to buy a condo in Florida with a man she met online. They've known each other 6 weeks. The grandmother claims it's an investment, that Emma will get the money back with profit, that she's being smart, not stealing. Sound familiar? We're suing, fighting. It's exhausting. The grandmother is my mother. Emma's my daughter. This is destroying our family. I'm writing to ask, was it worth it? The fight? The legal fees? The family destruction? Did winning make any of it better? Or should I just let it go and rebuild Emma's fund ourselves? I don't know what to do. Sincerely, Carol Simmons. I sat with that letter for 3 days, read it over and over, saw myself in Carol, saw Lily in Emma, saw Patricia in Carol's mother. The cycle repeating, again, somewhere else. Different names, same betrayal. Finally, I wrote back, "Dear Carol, yes, it was worth it. Not because we won, not because we got the money back, not even because Donald eventually made things right. It was worth it because fighting taught my daughter that betrayal doesn't have to be accepted, that theft, even from family, has consequences, that protecting yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. If I'd let it go, Lily would have learned that people can steal from you and face no consequences. That family loyalty means accepting abuse. That money matters more than justice. I refused to teach her those lessons. Was it hard? Devastating. The legal fees were substantial. The family fracture permanent. I haven't spoken to several relatives since the lawsuit. They thought I was cruel, ungrateful, money hungry. They were wrong. I was protective, determined, unwilling to let theft go unpunished. And Lily learned that her mother would fight for her, always, no matter what. That's worth more than $400,000. Here's my advice. 1. Document everything. Every conversation, every financial transaction, every promise made and broken, you'll need it. 2. Get a good lawyer, someone who specializes in trust litigation, someone who won't be intimidated by family dynamics. 3. Prepare for family members to take your mother's side. They will. They'll say you're overreacting, that she meant well, that family should forgive. Hold firm anyway. 4. Protect Emma emotionally. This will be hard on her. She'll blame herself. She won't, but she'll feel it anyway. Therapy helps. 5. Don't settle for less than full recovery plus interest. They'll offer partial repayment. Refuse. You deserve everything. 6. Remember why you're fighting. Not for money, for principle, for Emma's future, for the lesson that theft has consequences. The fight will be brutal, longer than you expect, more expensive than you budget, more emotionally draining than you can imagine. Do it anyway. Because the alternative accepting theft teaches Emma that she doesn't matter, that her future is negotiable, that family can betray her without consequence. Those lessons destroy people. Fight. Win or lose, fight. Show Emma that she's worth fighting for. And if you need support, call me. Here's my number. I've been where you are. I know what it costs. You're not alone. Sarah Harrison. I mailed the letter, included my phone number. Waited. Carol called 2 weeks later. Sarah? It's Carol Simmons. I got your letter. Hi, Carol. How are you holding up? Barely. We filed the lawsuit last week. My mother is furious. My siblings won't talk to me. Everyone thinks I'm a monster. You're not. You're a mother protecting her child. It doesn't feel that way. It feels like I'm destroying everything. You're not destroying. Your mother destroyed when she stole. You're just refusing to pretend it didn't happen. How long did your case take? Over a year. Would have gone to trial, but Patricia got cancer. Complicated everything. My mother is healthy. This could drag on for years. Probably. Can you afford that? I don't know. The lawyer fees are adding up. Emma's asking if it's worth it. I don't know what to tell her. Tell her the truth. That fighting is expensive and hard, but accepting theft is more expensive. It costs dignity, self-respect, the knowledge that you stood up for what's right. You really believe that? I do. And Carol, my daughter is a lawyer now, specializes in elder law and trust litigation. Because of what we went through, she helps families like yours, for free when she can. The trauma she experienced created her purpose. That's something. My daughter wants to be a doctor. I don't want this to derail her. It won't. If anything, it'll teach her resilience, determination, the knowledge that she's worth protecting. I hope you're right. I am. Keep fighting, and call me when you need support. I mean it. Thank you, Sarah, really. You're welcome. Stay strong. Carol's case took 18 months. She won. Full recovery, plus interest. Her mother had to sell the Florida condo. The boyfriend, who turned out to be a romance scammer, disappeared the moment money was involved. Emma got her $400,000 back, plus $60,000 in interest, plus the knowledge that her mother fought for her. Carol sends me updates every few months. Emma's in college now, pre-med, thriving. She told me the other day that watching me fight taught her not to accept injustice. Carol wrote that standing up for herself is always right, even when it's hard. I thought you'd want to know. I did want to know, because it confirmed what I'd learned. Fighting matters, not for the money, for the principle, for the lesson it teaches. Lily is 30 years old now, partner at her firm, married to a wonderful man named James, pregnant with their first child. We're naming her Patricia, she told me last week. I nearly dropped the phone. What, after your grandmother? After the lesson she taught me that trust has to be earned, that betrayal has consequences, that fighting for what's right matters. Lily, she stole from you. I know, and Donald made it right. And you fought for me, and I became a lawyer who helps others. All of that came from her theft. I'm not grateful for the theft, but I'm grateful for what I learned. You're more forgiving than I am. I'm not forgiving her. I'm just refusing to let her actions define my entire narrative. She was part of my story. An important part, but not the whole story. What is the whole story then? That people can betray you, and you can survive it, and build something better, and help others do the same. That's the story I want to tell my daughter, not your great-grandmother was a thief. But your great-grandmother made terrible choices, and your mother turned that into a career helping others. You're very wise. I learned from you, Mom. You taught me to fight. Now I teach others. Lily's daughter, my granddaughter Patricia, was born 3 months ago. Healthy, beautiful, perfect. I hold her sometimes and think about the original Patricia, the one who stole, who betrayed, who died never truly understanding what she'd done. And I think about Donald, the stranger who made things right, who gave everything to restore what he never stole. And I think about Lily, who survived betrayal, who built purpose from trauma, who named her daughter after the lesson, not the person. And I think maybe this is how families heal, not by forgetting, not by forgiving, but by transforming. Patricia, the grandmother, stole $600,000. Donald, the stranger, restored $900,000. Lily, the daughter, built a career helping hundreds of families avoid the same theft. And Patricia, the granddaughter, will grow up knowing her name carries a lesson. That betrayal happens, but resilience matters more. That's the legacy, the real one, the final one. Not money, not houses, not legal victories or defeats, but transformation, generation to generation, trauma into purpose, betrayal into strength. My mother stole from my daughter. My daughter turned that theft into a career protecting others. My granddaughter carries the name as a reminder. We survived. And survival, real survival, isn't just about getting through. It's about building something better on the other side. The trust fund has $1.3 million now. Lily doesn't need it anymore, has a good career, savings, stability. So we're converting it into a foundation, the Patricia Reeves Foundation for Trust Protection, named after both of them, the thief and the redeemer. The foundation will provide free legal services to families fighting trust theft, education about trustee responsibilities, support for victims of financial abuse, everything Patricia stole, everything Donald restored, used to help others. That feels right. Not forgiveness, not closure, but purpose. Lily made the final decision. We can't change what Grandma did, can't undo the theft, can't bring back Donald to thank him, but we can use the money to prevent it happening to others. That feels like the right ending. Not the ending I expected when I got that phone call from the bank. When I learned $600,000 was gone. When I flew to Arizona to confront my mother. But maybe the right ending anyway. Because sometimes the stories that hurt us most teach us the most important lessons. And sometimes the best revenge isn't getting even, it's building something better. The Patricia Reeves Foundation launches next month. Lily's running it, part-time, alongside her law practice. She asked me to be on the board. I said yes. We are going to help people, Mom. People like us. People like Carol and Emma. People whose families betrayed them. Your grandmother would hate this. Probably, but Donald would love it, and that's what matters. Yes, it is. So this is how it ends. Not with recovered money, not with legal victory, not with forgiveness or reconciliation, but with purpose, with transformation, with the refusal to let betrayal be the final word. Patricia stole $600,000 and thought she was helping. She was wrong. But from her wrong choice came something right. A daughter who fights for justice, a granddaughter named for the lesson, a foundation protecting others. Not because theft is good, but because we refuse to let it be meaningless. That's the real ending, the actual final chapter. Not the theft. The response, not the betrayal. The resilience, not the loss. The transformation. My mother borrowed my daughter's $600,000 trust and said it was for her own good. She was wrong about that, but she did teach us something valuable. That family can betray you, that you can survive it, that you can build something better from the wreckage, and that sometimes the best way to honor the people who hurt you is to help others avoid the same pain. The foundation opens September 1st. Lily's first case is already waiting. A grandmother who stole $120,000 from a grandchild's college fund. Spent it on a timeshare in Mexico. History repeating, again. But this time, someone's fighting back. Someone who knows exactly what it's like. Someone who survived it. My daughter, the lawyer, the survivor, the fighter. That's Patricia's real legacy. Not the theft, the response. And maybe that's enough. Maybe that's more than enough. Maybe that's everything.